The Saints are a home dog in primetime tonight to kick things off. The Bears, of course, are on bye. Gives us a chance to sort of like exhale a little bit, right?
That it does.
Not as heavy hitting into the Bears this week, X's and O's wise. We'll pick that back up on Monday as we get ready for Bears and Commanders and flexed into the late afternoon window where a lot of the country will see the last two Heisman Trophy winners go head-to-head. The top two picks in the NFL draft in April go head-to-head. The two most promising rookie quarterbacks we've seen so far this year go head-to-head. There's so many things to love about that matchup. Saw one look-ahead line that did have the Bears as a 1.5-point underdog going into Washington next week. But we'll see as all the shops post the lines after
I had it,
Washington is done with business.
I had it a little bit higher.
You had it at 2?
I thought it was going to be 2.5 to 3.5 against the Commanders.
3.5 would be a pretty big move considering like a month ago you could have had Bears -2. That'd be a pretty big swing to go all the way to being a 3.5-point dog.
Well, I mean, I don't think anybody thought that much of the Commanders at the beginning of the year. I also don't think a lot of people thought a lot about the Chicago Bears at the beginning of the year. Which one do you think has proven more than the other? I think the Commanders.
That's an excellent question.
I think the Commanders have proven more than the Chicago Bears. Now, as of late, against the people that the Bears have been playing, they've certainly been able to put victories together.
That's an excellent question.
It's not like there's a juggernaut that the Redskins have played, but their style of offenses look to be pretty darn impressive.
Very.
Yeah.
Cliff Kingsbury looks like he spent some time tweaking his offense while he was away last year. I know he was like working technically at USC, but it's not as strenuous.
But he was involved with football.
Yeah, and I think he spent a lot of time
in the thinking of the football and the tinkering of the football.
Tinkering his offense.
Tinkering is, I think, what he spent a ton of time with.
Because this looks different than the Arizona offense. Quite frankly, it just does.
Factually speaking now, from 2006 to 2021, which is 16 seasons.
16 seasons, so it's 15 because he had the year suspended.
2012 was the year that he was suspended.
There you go.
0-0. He was 152-88.
There you go.
As the head coach.
152-88.
152.
It's a good winning percentage, Jurko.
89. Sorry, my eyes deceived me.
That's a good winning percentage, Jurko.
You've got that right.
I would ask, but it's not worth asking because it's too obvious. Who is more likely to make the playoffs at 4-2? It's Washington because the division in which Washington plays.
Probably yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's not a knock on the Bears. Washington has an easier path, Yerk.
Right. They got Philadelphia really as the team that's kind of competitive.
Philly's 3-2. Dallas is 3-3. And I don't think Dallas is maybe as bad as they've looked at times, but I don't think Dallas is all that good. I bet under Dallas's win total this year after cleaning up on their win total each of the last 2 years going over. But this year, I think, as a lot of us kind of predicted, there was going to be some regression involved here. They don't have a ton of great options across their offense. Outside of their number one wide receiver, they have a terrible running back room. Their offensive line has lost pieces and is not nearly as dominant as it once was. The defense was due to regress a little. It has. Injury has played a huge part of that. I get it. But Dallas at 3-3, Philly at 3-2, and none of us are buying the Giants at 2-4 anyway, right?
Yeah.
The path is a lot easier for the 4-2 Washington Commanders.
Probably.
So the Bears have a tougher row to hoe, as they say, because the NFC North is incredible.
Well, they played 2 against Detroit, Minnesota, and against Green Bay Packers.
Exactly.
Had 6 games against teams that are probably going to be in the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah.
Possibly.
Unless the Bears do something to upset the apple cart.
They still have those 6 and then games against potential playoff teams like San Francisco. Washington in their own right. I mean, the schedule is going to get tougher coming out of the bye.
Yes, it is.
The one gimme looks like, again, gimme.
New England
at home. Gimme in the NFL. This is still the pros. Weird things can happen. The one that looks the most doable, Yerk, is certainly the New England game at